I have mistakenly called this game Saints Row numerous times.
Are you talking about Agents of Mayhem?
Yes, the game that is definitely not in any way a Saints Row game is definitely a Saints Row game.
Can we call it? Can we call it Saints Row 5 for the majority of this conversation?
Thing is, actually, no, because it messes with the canon. Like, it changes things. Like, one of the guys who was the butt of all the jokes in Saints Row 2 through 4 is actually, like, the leader of the most popular gang from Stillwater in this universe, and it's the Vice Kings instead of the Saints. So, I guess the Saints only comes from this Agents of Mayhem organization instead. And then they have several characters who are similar to some characters we've had, and then brand new one. And I don't know really what they were trying to do, and I'm going to write more about this, but the amount of focus they put into characters makes me think they want to start a MOBA. Or some kind of hero fighter, because a lot of this game was about the characters. The plot was so banal, I've already forgotten it. I don't know what happens, but here's why. Have you ever played Dragon Age 2?
Actually I did. I hated Dragon Age 2.
Why'd you hate Dragon Age 2?
I played roughly 20 minutes. No, I'll say I gave it a good hour. I didn't like the control scheme, so that was part of it. I know a lot of people were gonna like destroy me for that. I didn't like the control scheme.
No, some people didn't like that.
And I didn't like the characters that they gave me to start the game. Like, I didn't connect with anybody within the hour that I played. I was like, I hate every single one of these people that I'm playing as.
You might feel that way about Agents of Mayhem, and that's going to be very suggestive, but it depends if you like the characters. The second part that makes it like Dragon Age 2, though, is this. Repetition. I will say this with full solidarity, that there is more reuse of the same location in this game than there is in Dragon Age 2. Like, you go to the same underground lair every other mission. Story mission, go to the underground lair. Do something else, then you go to the underground lair. Then you do this other thing, and it's kind of fun, then the underground lair. It's just non-stop, and what they do is they build, like, a large underground lair, and it has a bunch of different places to run to, but it's the same map. So they're just having you run into different locations every time. Ugh! Wow. Oh my god.
Wow.
How is this a finished game? No, that's a trick question. It's not a finished game.
Do you feel like they rushed it?
Yeah, because Saints Row 4 felt way more complete than this did. And I don't know how that happens. Saints Row 4 was not in development as long as this game was, for as far as I know. But it's also really buggy. Just like, not Dragon Age, but our favorite of the year, Andromeda. I would say it was a quarter as buggy as Andromeda.
A quarter as buggy?
Yeah, because
Andromeda was a really buggy game.
Andromeda was a lie.
Andromeda was a lie.
And here's the thing. Like, despite all the complaints I'm going to have for this game, and there's a lot, it's actually a really, really fun game. Because it's just this hectic shooter, and all the characters have different styles, different playstyles enough for you to really find your favorite playstyle. Your mileage on the plot may vary, but again, it's not particularly interesting. They actually present it like it's a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Except there's like a ton of swearing. And somewhere around that, I'm like, so who is this for? Because it's like, oh, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, but there's a ton of swearing. And it just kind of ends there. Like, it doesn't really develop that more. The most focus you get is those characters, and that's why I think they're trying to make a MOBA. But these are the guys who made the Saints Row games, and a lot of them made big leaps and bounds in the area of sandbox games. They're one of the OG sandbox game people. Now everyone's doing it, right? Like, what's the most recent one you played? Was it Wildlands?
Wildlands.
Yeah. Did you like Wildlands being open world?
I did not like Wildlands being open world.
Yeah.
I understood the reason behind it, because it's supposed to feel like you're actually playing as like this Ghost Recon super soldier. But I didn't sign up for that. I want to play a video game. Give me a mission. Let me do my mission and let me go.
So actually, yeah, that map was huge.
Ghost Recon's Wildlands map was way too big.
Here's the one good thing about the map. The map in Agents of Mayhem is tiny. It's an open world map, but it is small compared to everything else. It is very focused, and I actually appreciated that, because rather than having this huge sprawling land and making it just a commute to and from wherever you want to go, everywhere is pretty easy to reach in the game. On the other hand, the city isn't so well designed that it's even worth it, because it's a futuristic city, and it looks like a futuristic city, but it's pretty generic. There's no real landmarks that make it stand out, other than, I'm going to say, the planetarium. When you get near the planetarium, they keep talking about Uranus, because that's the joke levels we're at right now. And that's it for that one. But, alright, here's what they did that they fixed. That was kind of cool. So, the heroes only have one gun, so they have a different playstyle for every hero. One gun for them. Unlimited ammo. Off the bat. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. Purchasing ammo becomes so pointless in these games at some point that I like that they just went ahead and say, no, don't bother with ammo. They also allow you to triple jump.
Oh, wow.
Which gives you a bit more range of motion. You can get to certain areas easier. It's almost like Crackdown. It's very, very similar to Crackdown, but instead of jumping really high, you get a really good triple jump. And it's good because there is a little bit of platforming. And when you give yourself that amount of jumps, it works. There's also a vehicle, a decent vehicle, that you get right at the start. You can summon it whenever you want. It'll drive right to you. And it actually makes this circle, where if you step inside the circle, when it drives in, you automatically teleport into the car. And when you get into any other car, you also automatically teleport into the car. It doesn't have to make sense. They're just making it easier by not forcing you to wait to get in the friggin' car. Yeah. You just teleport into the friggin' car.
In the car. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things I probably wouldn't question. I would just be okay with it. Because, like, there's no explanation. I know that we walked over to the car, opened the door, sat down, closed the door, turned the car on.
And they just give you a good car right from the get-go, because, you don't have to claim a car or, like, keep commandeering vehicles you don't want. No, here's your agency car. You're with an agency, you get it. And you get better cars as you go on.
That's pretty solid.
So I liked all that.
So far, all this stuff is... Oh, this is a list of stuff.
Yeah, this is the stuff I liked.
Okay. I was like, all this stuff sounds really dope. I don't understand what the issue is.
The mix down now, I had trouble with the sound because sound was glitchy, first of all. The sound wouldn't play correctly sometimes. Some sounds would interrupt other sounds. Some sounds got surprisingly silent. There are glitches where if I'm leaving the game running and I come back to it, like you can do that on PS4 and Xbox One, the sound will just stop completely.
Oh god, that sounds like a patch time!
Yeah, I think they patched it by the time I finished the game, but the damage was already done. There's a lot of stuff about the music was also extremely lazy. There were no radio stations for any of the cars. You just got in and... if you typed generic EDM into a royalty-free music library, I think that's what they did.
Oh, wow.
Because there's just no notable music in it whatsoever. And I had to mix things way the hell down just so I could hear the music better. And once I did, I was like, oh, this is not worth hearing. And I just mixed it back down the way it was intended. I like to hear good music, and... good music is important. It's a part of the experience, and this one did not have good music. I'm sorry if someone did put all the work into this, but I saw the credits scroll through, and I saw a bunch of different artists. Like, I've never heard of any of these people. They probably just grabbed it from a royalty-free library. They did not spend the money. None of the sounds are great. The voice acting is just okay. But the characters themselves are well written, so I like that. But the voice acting itself is... sometimes a little forced, like everyone's putting too much into it. There's a lot of overacting, but it's inconsistent. Like, I don't know when it's trying to be serious, when it's being funny. It's not that funny, it's more crass, and it's less funny than the other games. I would say it's more wacky than crazy, or funny, even. It's just like, it's goofy, but it's all over the place with that tone. There's one of the characters, Friday, actually sounds suspicious like she's just doing a Hermione impersonation.
Hermione from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
There's literally no other. I mean, I cannot think of a Hermione in real life. Right?
I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I can't think of one. I'll get back to you. I don't want to look stupid right now. I'll get back to you.
So there's just numerous glitches, though. It kept taking away from my fun. Just random stuff, getting stuck on scenery, not being able to land a certain way, a car not showing up, repeated times where the mission, the gold in the top left corner got stuck and didn't change. So I would just have to play a game of follow the waypoint because the actual instructions wouldn't pop up anymore.
Oh my.
It takes unusually long for waypoints to pop up too. Like after everyone's done talking, you're just sitting there for like a solid 5 or 10 seconds, and then the waypoint pops up. Usually in the lairs. So when you're going through these lairs that you've already done 10 times, and you're just standing there waiting them to tell you which direction to go next, it's a pain in the ass.
I can believe that.
And there's just there's a ton more glitches. Some animations just drop. There's a lot of frame drop on the copy I got on Xbox One, but like there was frame drop all the time. They thought it was okay to release it, just I didn't feel cool with that. The other is that the pathfinding on the GPS is bad. It doesn't give you good directions to get to the locations you gotta go when you're driving around in the map. And the driving's fun because it's easy, it's quick, you got the best stuff, but the pathfinding is stupid. Like, actively stupid. There was a point where I had to ignore it because it was like, nah, this way's faster. And you can't check because there's no minimap. There's no minimap.
What is this, pre-Y2K?
Yeah, so they want you to follow the GPS routes, and they give you a waypoint, but no minimap. So, I mean, I understand them streamlining it, but that was a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Having a map is critical as far as I'm concerned. Any open world game needs a map. It needs a minimap. There's no way you can give me an open world game without a minimap. I tried playing, when I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, my TV had just cracked. Like, I had just gotten a crack in the TV.
No.
So, like, the corner where the minimap is supposed to be, I couldn't see fully I could only see half the minimap. And I was really annoyed. It's fixed now. But, like, trying to play that game with the crack was damn near impossible. Because I was like, where
am I supposed to go?
Yeah, like, what do I do?
Yeah, and even when you do get driving missions were terrible. Like, you'd have to drive through these markers, and sometimes you'd get stuck on locations, or sometimes you would jump like 12 feet in the air from going over the sidewalk, and it's usually during race missions. Not when you're actually driving, but when you had to actually do a driving mission, for some reason driving's just worse, but only for that right then. I think like the hitbox was weird or something. Your car kind of flashes when you hit something, and it's the same for other ones, so I mean, it gets cosmetically damaged, but so, like, just layer after layer, these bugs wore the game down. It's absolutely fun to play, but if you're streamlining it, you're gonna have a bad time fast because it's the same shit over and over, ton of bugs. And the story's not great. They have really good characters, but not a great story. So,
maybe they are trying to make a MOBA. Do you think that if the bugs were not in it, you would have had more fun with the game? Do you think, like, so what do you feel like you're going to give the game on the review?
5 or 6.
Okay.
If it had less bugs, it'd probably get 1 more point. Maybe.
Okay, so it'd be like a 6 or 7.
Because there's still just a lot of stuff keeping it down, and the reusing the same map was a big, big problem. I was so friggin' bored. And just like every other open world game, it just littered the map with shit to do. But it wasn't interesting. It's go here, do this thing. Here's a bunch of stuff on your map if you feel like it. I don't feel like it. Is that it? Okay. I'm just surprised is what it is. I'm disappointed that one of the people who are, like, I didn't want to say they codified open world games, but they helped perfect it. And now they came out with something that's one of the worst.
I would say codified wouldn't be a bad word, because, I mean, it was Grand Theft Auto, right? Obviously, like, really created the open world landscape as far as urban open world goes.
Yeah.
Right? Urban open world, like, Grand Theft Auto created the landscape. Saints Row came in and added some more to it. And now we have everyone making urban style open world. Like, we have Watch Dogs, we have Assassin's Creed, we have
I don't know how you can come off that pedigree of being that long in the business and make a game that's this disappointing.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
On that sad note, were you disappointed with Agents of Mayhem? Write in the comments. Like and subscribe if you like this video. And if you can tolerate my voice for that long, thank you for that.
And as always, feel free to hit me up. I love talking to people in the comments, so I will be comment searching and hanging out. Anything else about Agents of Mayhem?
No, I returned it as soon as I was done with it.
Well, I'm an Agent of Mayhem. Actually, I didn't get a chance to play it. I don't think I will because I'm not really a fan of open world games. But always great talking to you guys and hanging out. Vega out.
Chet out.
Peace.
Word.